Okay, so this is Air Force. They redid their training. They redid everything. They revamped to have it a little bit more hardcore. Hey, look, they got weapons. They have weapons. All right, they got a shoot house or something over here. I'm not really sure what they're doing.
Move forward, move forward.
Let's move on.
This
Stop talking when I'm talking.
is Air Force Boot Camp.
Okay.
Before they join the United States Air Force or Space Force, all trainees must graduate from the Air Force's 7.5-week basic military training program.
7 weeks,
known
8 weeks.
as BMT.
Our mission is to motivate, train, and inspire the next generation of airmen to deliver 21st century air power.
I said I was going Air Force. Everybody's like, oh, the Chair Force, like basic's gonna be nothing. And I was sitting there thinking, man, I should have went another route. This is gonna be way too easy.
You're wearing your failure all over your face.
And I could not have been more wrong.
Get out of here.
On day one,
He thinks.
new trainees arrive on a bus from the San Antonio airport.
It's
Some
daytime.
of these kids come here never having left home, no job experience. But not long after they leave here, they're going to be given a job and a task and expected to perform that task with no supervision.
There, hug your back, nothing falls out. That's all this comes.
All trainees are sorted into smaller groups known as flights. Although training squadrons are composed of both male and female trainees, the flights are
Co-ed?
divided by gender.
Go ahead.
During 0 week, male trainees receive haircuts.
0
Female
week.
trainees must wear their hair in a bun, a ponytail, or up to 2 braids.
Okay.
Right away, the Air Force wants to get a little muscle on those pretty
Whoa.
arms.
Females were first allowed to join the Air
What
Force in
is-
limited roles in 1948.
Almost like the
And
first
in
female Marines.
1976, began being accepted on an equal basis with males. Today, 20% of the Air Force's active duty service members are female,
Wow.
along with about 25% of all trainees at BMT. Which for
God,
some
what are you
can be
doing?
easier said than done.
What is the guy is lost in the sauce?
There you go. Leave it all on the track.
Mornings at BMT begin at 0600 with physical training.
5 seconds.
Okay, they get up at 6.
Keep going.
All right, you're done.
All trainees must pass a physical fitness test during the 5th week of their training, which consists of 1 minute each of push-ups and sit-ups,
Okay.
as
1
well
minute.
as a timed 1.5-mile run.
I knew that.
Good job. Keep going, gentlemen.
Look at those
kinda flip a
sideburns,
switch
man.
during PT from MTI to personal trainer.
Good job. Good run.
Like they come in and they really encourage you. If you're struggling, they'll tell you like, hurry up, let's get this done, and they'll
Oh,
do it with
really?
you.
There you go. Burn through this last lap. There you go.
After
What are we
morning PT, it's time for breakfast, known as chow. But meals
Look at
aren't
this.
a time for relaxation.
Sir, flight 727. Do you want me?
You gotta say the right words or you're gonna get screamed at.
You don't get screamed at.
May face the wrath
What's-
of the snake pit, the
That's-
area where MTIs sit during meals.
The snake
Look,
pit.
stepped out in traffic and almost got ran over. Because it was not your turn. There's no explanation for it. Back up. So you're forgetting to do so is what got you. Stop talking when I'm talking!
You gotta really
What?
be stable to be able to remember everything and then be in that fire and perform well.
Okay, we have weapons.
During 0 week, each trainee is assigned a rifle, which they learn to care for.
My heels are pretty much trying to touch the ground, and I'm facing downrange.
35% of BMT is classroom instruction.
Right now, what you're gonna do is go to the high kneeling position.
He needs a haircut.
Trainees learn the basics of how to hold their rifles in a variety of different shooting
Why
positions.
are we practicing
Because we're an
inside the
expeditionary
barracks?
force, and airmen can find themselves in any location around the world really at a moment's notice. So we have to maintain our qualifications and our service weapon.
Why are we in the barracks doing
Nowhere is attention to detail more apparent than in drill practice.
Get your jump. Stay in step.
that? Okay, show me how when it looks better. Oh, this is what they beefed up.
Training culminates in week 6 with an event known as Beast, which stands for Basic Expeditionary Airman Skills Training.
Beast puts them through all the
training.
things that they have learned in 5.5, 6 weeks, and we rehearsed it, if you will.
During Beast Week, trainees live in a simulated combat environment and are tested on various field training exercises and scenarios.
I want their backs to hurt, and I want their feet to hurt after that 5 days of training out in the field. Because they need to ingrain to them right now the character. What does it take to be our agile airman and our agile guardian in the United States Air Force?
Live fire.
During combat arms training and maintenance, trainees learn how to handle and fire an M4 carbine.
Forward.
Whoa.
Trainees first learn how to safely load and fire their weapons in the classroom.
No.
Before heading out to the firing range.
Why?
Is ready. Fire.
Where they'll fire their weapons from several different positions.
Okay.
Trainees fire a total of 76 rounds.
Okay.
They must hit their target on at least 12 of them. Trainees who score 20
Whoa. Hold on.
and must hit their target, where they'll fire their weapons from several different positions. Trainees fire a total of 76 rounds and must hit their target on at least 12 of them. Trainees who score 22 or higher qualify as expert.
76 rounds and you have to hit 12? Stop. You shoot 76 rounds and you have to hit 12. And if you hit over 20, you're an expert. That's not even 50. Marines don't math well. Somebody do the math. You're kidding me. Y'all, please make it make sense. I listened to it twice. I've never seen this video. Never seen it. 76 rounds. You have to at least hit 12 for one distance. Holy Moses. Guys, we've got to do better. Air Force, we got to do better. 76 rounds and you only have to hit 12 on target and you're only, what, 10 to 15 yards away? Maybe this is just first.
If they lose fundamentals, they get frustrated. They tend not to qualify.
You guys ready? Yes, sir. All right, let's do it again. Let's go.
But if you keep them motivated, that part will ensure that they either qualify or get that expert.
There's a sense of accomplishment that when an airman leaves here, that they're confident in holding and operating a weapon. Some people come here, they've never touched any weapon of any kind in their life, so that confidence is important to us.
Surrounding area.
Please tell me they get
Check
CS.
for damage, as well as any unexploded explosive ordnance.
Oh wait, this isn't
Due
CS
to
training. Wait.
COVID-19 protocols, trainees are not exposed to any dangerous chemicals during BMT. But training that does include exposure is scheduled to return in early 2022.
2 feet, 2 feet, 2 feet, 24 inches.
Okay.
I believe it's 97 degrees right now, and
Wow.
the gear that they're wearing adds about 15 degrees of body heat. So it's challenging both physically and mentally.
I know it's hot.
Trainees are also trained in tactical casualty combat care, or TCCC, which
Okay.
teaches them how to perform potentially life-saving first aid in
We got
combat.
that, right?
Once I go through once, I'm going to go back the opposite direction. That's what's going to create that direct pressure.
The trainees learn how to properly apply tourniquets, as well as how to evacuate a wounded airman to safety.
A little more
Skills they'll
intensity.
need to know when it comes to the culminating event of Beast Week, simply known as the Village.
What?
The trainee's mission is to infiltrate the village and rescue an injured airman located somewhere inside. And explosives.
You get scared?
Along with the presence of role players acting as opposing forces and innocent bystanders, make for a stressful environment.
What are you going to do when those bullets start flying?
We all kind of rush in and then
3 responses, right? Or some say 2 now, but fight, flight, and freeze. Flight and freeze kind of, but then you got fight. What are you going to do? Lordy.
Didn't really know what to do. We were all just kind of like looking around like, what the heck is going on?
We had a plan, and then it completely fell apart. Like, as soon as we walked through,
It's not
pretty
funny.
much, it fell apart.
Bang, 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 bang.
Above your head. Put your fingers. Put your feet.
Trainees are taught how to diffuse situations with opposing forces
Hold, sir. Hold.
and are instructed to use minimal force on those who are non-compliant.
What do you do when they don't comply?
You take his daggone weapon from him,
The
beat his
stressful
tail is what
environment
you
can
do.
cause some trainees
Butt
to
stroke him in the
freeze
Can I see? Oh, thank you.
or overreact.
Drop your weapon on the ground.
Put your hands up.
They're going to shoot each
Some of
other.
the things that I see most of the time, which is very detrimental to our force, is
Two eyes open
trainees
so you can
utilizing
see.
deadly force when they're not supposed to be.
Why did you shoot me? Big mistakes. I want to correct
Yeah.
those mistakes and tell them this is why it was a mistake and move forward from it.
I agree with that.
All
I agree with
teacher
that.
will see, right?
Teach them, let them make mistakes, and
Somebody
teach them.
say this down there and then.
I would
Good job.
love to be in that training course right now. Love it.
Having survived
Love it.
Beast Week, the trainees return to base with the toughest week of BMT behind them.
That's the toughest.
They see it often as a rite of passage. They've been out there, they've achieved that difficult thing. So by the time they come back from Beast, there's a new sense of accomplishment.
All right. They didn't show much. Didn't show much.
It's remarkable to watch how in just 7 weeks, which is not very long, it
No,
can make
it's
such a
not.
difference in someone's life.
They come out of
They
there with
walk
3
a different
ribbons
way. They
and an
talk a
E3.
different way. The amount of confidence they exude and the pride that
You
they
get a challenge
obviously have
coin.
after having gone through this is so clear and it's so evident.
Hey, listen, I get it. They're towing the line. Just not what we do. I get it. I got it. Ladies and gentlemen, listen, mucho respect for the Air Force. They're part of our military. I've got people in there. I've got guys in there. I've got family members that have served, still serving. I get it. I get it. But it's just very different from what I'm used to and what we're used to. And I understand they're not going into the combat environments like we are, but hey, funny thing, that was beefed up. Like they redid their training for this and to make it harder. So could you imagine what it was like pre this? I just think it's a totally different aspect. And I know it's the mission set of the Air Force and what they're doing and the time and the decade, but my goodness, we need a little bit more intensity. We need a little bit more training. I don't agree with the rifles being pointed and trained inside the barracks and on racks and inside their berthing or whatever. And they were in a classroom and they were all pointing and putting mags in a weapon. I just, to me, that's not very safe. I don't do that nowadays. So why would I do that then? And people sitting in front of you, behind you. I don't know. Basic. We're talking about basic training for the Air Force. We're talking about boot camp. We're talking about basic for all these different branches are just different. So, but I would love to get my hands on some of that beast training where they're doing the room clearing and CAS evacs and stuff like that, because good heavens. And I think the standard needs to be a little higher. My opinion only. I just think the standard needs just to be a little bit higher. Maybe we go to 50%. Maybe we go to 75%. You get expert. I don't know.